Nice. Pretty cool. Thank you.
What? Don't, because it tones it down.
Call to order the council meeting for October 17th. We stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
Liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
City Council, Successor Agency, and Housing Authority, a quorum is present.
We have an open public comment. We have some members of the LA Philharmonic here that have to leave shortly, so we're going to let them speak first.
Thank you, members of the council. My name is Gail Samuel. I'm the acting president and CEO of the Los Angeles Philharmonic. And as you know, the LA Philharmonic is a world-class orchestra. We generally perform at the Walt Disney Concert Hall and the Hollywood Bowl. The program I want to talk about today is our education program called Youth Orchestra Los Angeles. This is a program we've been working on for about 10 years, and it's the signature program of our music and artistic director, Gustavo Dudamel. And through this program, we have currently 4 sites that are up and running, and we go into these sites with community partners, and we offer free orchestral music education to students. It's an after-school and Saturday program, so it's about 15 hours of programming a week. We provide instruments, we provide teachers, and it's based on an orchestral model. And to Gustavo Dudamel, he will always say that the orchestra is a great representative of a community, of people working together to create beauty together. Our next step in this program is that we would like to build a YOLA center, and we would like to do it here in Inglewood. And this would be a way of building out this program, again, creating a program for another, when the whole program is up and running, probably 500 students we could accommodate in this program. Serving this community, working with other community partners to provide other services to the kids. We do a lot of academic support as well for the students. And the students in the program end up having a lot of performance opportunities in Walt Disney Concert Hall, at the Hollywood Bowl. Students from the program have performed at the Super Bowl. And in Tokyo and in London, they've toured with the orchestra when we've gone on these events. The program would be a real investment in the city of Inglewood for us as well. Probably about $2.5 million a year would go into the city. Let's say $1 million of that being operating the building, and $1.5 million being actually into program support for the kids. We are really excited about this possibility. And the other thing with this building, it would be different from our other sites in that it would really be a home for this program and a home for the LA Philharmonic in Inglewood, where in addition to serving the students, it would be a chance to bring other kids from other sites together for big orchestra events. Also to bring people who run similar programs around the country in for convenings and learnings. And we do this currently near downtown, but a lot of that would happen then here in Inglewood, which would bring other people to this community. We're really excited about this opportunity. We're really excited about the location. And I've been with the LA Philharmonic for 25 years, and this is the first education program that I think we've had that has really made sense and become very core and central to the whole organization, and we're really excited about proceeding with it.
Thank you.
Sure.
Is Senator Bradford here? Not yet? Okay. All right, well then we'll open public comment. How many people here want to speak for public comment? Could I have a show of hands? Okay, then we'll keep with that number. We'll keep the 3-minute limit. Ma'am, come forward.
Good afternoon. My name is Angela Johnson-Peters, and I am the new Associate Director of the Social Justice Learning Institute. I bring you greetings from Executive Director Dr. D'Artagnan Scorza, and we would like to read this letter into the record. Dear Honorable Mayor and City Council members, on Monday, October 2nd, 2017, the Social Justice Learning Institute was made aware that the City of Inglewood, through a recommendation from the administration, intends to end co-sponsorship of the Inglewood Certified Farmers Market on Market Street. To help ensure that adequate information is provided to Council in their decision-making process, we are submitting this letter and the attached enclosures for the Council's review. This includes a market overview and update, letters of support from impacted Market Street businesses, farmers market financials, and market research and analysis. SJLI's Inglewood Certified Farmers Market just reached a 1-year milestone working with the City of Inglewood. We believe that 1 year is not enough significant time to test the merits and viability of the farmers market. However, we do understand the concerns of the local businesses. Recently, we created the Inglewood Certified Farmers Market Advisory Committee, which is comprised of local Market Street businesses and farmers market vendors. Together, we are creating significant momentum for economic activity on Market Street. The goal of the Farmers Market Advisory Committee is to create economic opportunities for local Market Street businesses to come together, discuss, and implement strategies to use the farmers market to generate additional foot traffic for all businesses in the area. As such, we believe there is sufficient buy-in for the market to continue. Furthermore, we are confident that by sustaining the Inglewood Certified Farmers Market on Market Street, along with additional investment, the increased economic activity will lead to more robust participation in the area. Finally, we are extremely committed to making sure that locally owned businesses thrive, and the Inglewood Farmers Market serves as a catalyst to help make that happen. Nonetheless, thank you for your position to co-sponsor the Inglewood Certified Market on Market Street. Know that this journey together was only the beginning of a fantastic story. We are committed to making sure the Inglewood Farmers Market continues and plan to carry forward in the near future. With very best regards, D'Artagnan Scorza, PhD. We'll send you this information.
Good afternoon, everybody. Derek Steele, representing the Social Justice Learning Institute, owners of the Inglewood Certified Farmers Market. On behalf of Dr. D'Artagnan Scorza, our Executive Director at SJLI, who, by the way, apologizes for his absence today. He's down at LACO. Also, on behalf of my team members at SJLI, local business owners and vendors, and most importantly, our regular customers, we want to thank the Mayor and City Council for providing us the opportunity to hold the Inglewood Farmers Market on Market Street in concert with the city this past year. Back in 2005, the city conducted a citywide survey, one of the largest ever, asking folks how they felt about having a farmer's market. With over 15,000 responses, 97% of them said that yes, they wanted one. The city didn't decide what next steps to take for many reasons, and those surveys sat on the shelf. And in 2009, when SJLI began its focus on health in the built environment, community members we spoke with, as well as city officials we spoke with, all kept talking about having a farmer's market. So we got our hands on those surveys and tabulated results ourselves, and from then, we determined to bring forth what we found was something that the community really wanted. Over the next 6 years, we worked to bring this idea to life. With the support of various departments and with the mayor's leadership, we ushered in a zoning amendment in 2013 to make the city zone for a market. And after a few years of no activity and next steps, we even took it upon ourselves to use the city's special event permitting process to solely fund and conduct 12 farmers markets on Market Street once a month from September 2015 to September 2016, to make the case that this was possible in our city, in our downtown. Our partnership with the city of Inglewood may not have bared the fruits that we all expected. I need everyone to know, though, that despite the termination of our work together today, SJLI is still committed to carry this forward. This is a positive, not a negative. And it gives us a chance to press the reset button, take all the lessons we've learned over the years, and create a thriving farmers market, working with the incredible Inglewood food, artisan, boutique, and small business owners who are excited to continue to use our platform as their own, including local farmers. So thank you very much again, and we will be in touch with you all here in the crowd, as well as across the dais very soon with the relaunch of the market.
Thank you, Mr. Steele.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council, and staff. Ray Davis, Second District. Now we're on agenda items, correct?
Yes, we are.
Okay. I don't want to. I'm here to speak on the voting change that's going to call for the charter to be amended. And I'm sure you folks are familiar with my opinion. Whatever we can do to get people to get out and vote, but vote, of course, in an informed fashion, you know I'm all for it. I don't know what the mechanisms are going to have to be. It's just going to be a straight vote or whatever. You'll let us know, but I'm all for that. And if it saves the city some money, that's even better. And so that's pretty much where I stand on that.
Just for information, the vote we take is actually to amend the charter to comply with the California Voter Petition Rights Act. So this is something we have to do. All right.
Parker Jr., Vietnam veteran. That's subjective. Glad I finally got 3 minutes. Jesus, it's been a long time. All this resetting and all these new organizations being set up in the federal government, all these programs you got going, true, we have some good nonprofits that are good, but as anything we do welfare, whatever military, we have crooks, thieves, and people that take advantage of it. And that comes with our society, because it's a free society. But I come to you till we deal.
Mr. Parker, which item are you talking about right now?
Well, you didn't say that. You said public comment is open for 3 minutes. You're gonna move it up.
Mr. Parker, this is for agenda items. Now you
Say that. You
okay,
said you were just going to open
Mr.
it up.
Parker,
You did not say that.
Mr.
You
Parker,
specifically said,
Mr. Parker,
open
you're going to
it
have to
for
do this
move
at
it
the end
forward
of the
for
meeting.
these people.
You touch him on the
to
shoulder,
speak.
Sergeant at
Okay,
Arms.
so, and since you didn't designate C.
Thank you, Mr. Parker. We'll see you at the end.
Good afternoon, council members. I can't help but state the obvious. It was rather interesting that I believe it was last week that some snide and interesting comments, and everyone can go back and replay it, were made about the school board member that you were dissatisfied with, and yet today we see an ending of a contract. How timely is that? But I'm sure that he will go on quite nicely, and those who enjoy farmers markets will also go on quite nicely. It's unfortunate the city has to lose in the middle of that. With regard to the charter change, yes, most of us do know that it is a state-required mandate. My frustration is that you did not point out during our last election that because of that mandate, the election terms for some was extended. How about that? Oops, I guess that crossed your minds. I don't think so. I think it was intentional.
What about that? Okay, Mr. Agee, welcome.
My name is Willie A.G., and I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood. Proud of it. I'm concerned about agenda item 4, farmers market on Market Street. I hope the council terminate this agreement because I hear from representatives, some of them are my friends, but I just don't think that's the right place. Market Street is the right place to have a farmer's market. There's other places maybe in the city of Inglewood that possibly could be, but I'm speaking to the merchants on Market Street in that area. Really will be happy to see this go, this farmer's market. I've been there and I bought fruits and vegetables there, you know. As a matter of fact, I had an agreement to get vegetables every 2 weeks. I had to cancel it because, just being honest, that's, you know, I'm sorry for the guy, but that's just the way I feel about it. 53-year citizen of a beautiful city of England. I support termination of this.
Close public comment. We have a presentation to make to the Asian American Drug Abuse Program Incorporated and the Youth United in Creative Action. Whereas families and communities have been affected by the numerous problems associated with the use and addiction of alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, and whereas youth face decisions about using alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs as early as their elementary school years, and whereas it is critical to reach youth with anti-drug messages and the encouragement to remain drug-free, and whereas California has led the nation in making expansive investments in prevention by launching the most ambitious prevention education program statewide and advocating that communities and individuals continue prevention education programs and activities to discourage the abuse of alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, and whereas the Asian American Drug Abuse Program Incorporated and Youth United in Creative Action are participating in the nationwide effort to raise awareness for parents and community members for substance abuse prevention to prevent Inglewood's most precious resource, to protect Inglewood's most precious resource, our youth. Now therefore be it known that the mayor and city council members of the city of Inglewood, California, do hereby commend the Asian American Drug Abuse Program and Youth United in Creative Action for exceptional service, the 17th of October, 2017. Did we have a presentation? Ms. Tracy Saruwatare?
Right here. Hi, Tracy Saruwatare from Asian American Drug Abuse Program. I'm sure you're familiar with me by now. I want to thank you again for supporting us and with our efforts with Red Ribbon Week, which is happening next week. You'll see the trees outside of City Hall adorned with red ribbons in honor of Kiki Camarena, who died in vain for his services trying to fight the war on drugs. And I want to just thank you again for allowing us this opportunity. And unfortunately, my students were not able to come. They're in school right now. I wasn't able to get them out. Usually I have a whole slew of them with me so that they can take a picture with me and you with the commendation. But I did tell them that I was coming to represent them. And they wanted me to offer city council and staff some red ribbon pins that you can wear next week in honor of Red Ribbon Week. So
Give it to Sergeant Arms.
hope there's enough for one for each of you up here.
That's okay, I'll give mine to them. You want to take a picture over here by the, so you can we have it for the kids? Okay, we have one more proclamation for Skidans Day. Whereas in 1975, the city of Inglewood dedicated the Inglewood Civic Center, which included the work and thinking of contemporary artists in the design of City Hall, and whereas public art provides an essential and indispensable heritage from which we draw pride, comfort, courage, and inspiration in times of celebration and conflict, and whereas one such public artwork is the monument Skidans by artist Tony DeLapp, which is out in front of City Hall. Whereas this steel monument signifies the dignity and impact of civic life, written, discussed, and legislated, and whereas Skidans acknowledges the intent, vision, and effort of visible and public leadership in Inglewood City Hall, and whereas Skidans was renovated in 2017 through the leadership of the mayor and council members and guided by the Inglewood Arts Commission and Rosa Lowinger and Associates, now therefore be it known that the mayor and council members of the city of Inglewood, California, do hereby proclaim October 18th, 2017 as Skidans Day, presented the 17th day of October. Now, Madam Clerk, could you call to order how many agencies we got today? City Council, Successor Agency, and Housing Authority.
City Council, Successor Agency, and Housing Authority, a quorum is present.
Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Warrant register.
Move allow payment.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
City Council, Successor Agency, and Housing Authority members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin. Aye. Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. Consent calendar items 2 through 5.
So moved.
I'm going to pull item 4 for report. Madam Clerk.
Council member, who was second? I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Could we have a report on item 4?
Staff report recommending termination of agreement number 17-280 with Social Justice Learning Institute, Inc. for the operation of the Inglewood Certified Farmers Market.
Arjinder Singh, Acting HUD Programs Manager, will give the staff report.
Hello, Mayor and Council. Staff is recommending that agreement number 17280 be terminated for the Inglewood Farmers Market. This was based on receiving several complaints from the area businesses. So staff went out and met with social justice, looked at their financials, as well as interviewed the businesses that front the farmers market. We interviewed 13 businesses in the area. 10 of those 13 recommended that the farmers market not go forward, and also that their businesses were negatively affected. When we looked at the financials of the farmers market, one of the things that we noticed was a declining foot traffic, and also other metrics such as loss in revenue per operation of the farmers market. So in conjunction with the recommendation of the businesses in the area, as well as the financials, staff did recommend that the market not go forward.
There's no question. We'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second. Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. A1.
Thank you, Mayor. We had a closed session regarding CS1, which was the negotiation on terms and conditions regarding the property at 101 South La Brea Avenue in the city of Inglewood. The negotiating party is Tom Beckman with the Los Angeles Philharmonic. The city negotiator was Artie Fields, the city manager. And as to that one, a discussion was held with the city council and direction was given to staff.
CI 1.
Initiative by Councilmember Alex Padilla recommending approval of the city sponsorship for the 5th Annual District 2 Christmas Toy Drive.
Move approval.
Second. Madam Clerk.
Councilmembers Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. CSA 1 and H1. But no, excuse me. A little bit of mistake here. A little bit of mistake on the agenda.
It's
No problem.
okay.
Okay. So, Housing Authority is in session. Oh, wait a minute, and we already did that too.
Yes.
Okay, so no appointments. So at this point, we're at public comment. Any persons wishing to address the council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered may do so at this time. 1 minute. And it'd really help if everybody just line up along the back wall so that we can move things along. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. It's just 3 items on my agenda. One, I have conveyed it with my council regarding a homeless family on 110th and Crenshaw, and we're working out the logistics on that. But I want to say thank you for my mayor, Dotson. It's like a relay leg. Morningside Church of God in Christ had a major need, and they reached out to me and all. And what happened was, with a phone call, one phone call has taken this church able to not only look at $80,000 in insurance fund, but almost $800,000, because the insurance company found very fallacies in what they needed to be done. And the church not only have the roof, they're going to get a new floor and bathrooms bringing up to right for the ADA. And last, we lost the icon in our city, William Murphy, and I'm hoping that we can do some things very correctly for him in our city, and I will pass on the date. We're looking at the Memorial Day service for him, November the 5th, and I will keep you in touch. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Brief interruption. Are there members of the American Cancer Society here? Would you come forward, ma'am?
Good afternoon. My name is Kimberly Smith. I'm the Community Development Manager for American Cancer Society for the Relay for Life of Inglewood. And today we would like to present the City of Inglewood with their presenting sponsorship plaque for your continuous support of the Relay for Life of Inglewood. The 2017 Relay for Life of Inglewood raised a resounding $7,311.65, with an increase of 8% over last year, with that money going back to free programs and services for the Inglewood residents. And also we know that now, because we're doing it by zip code, 112 of Inglewood cancer survivors have come to our office either for a ride to a program, a ride to a treatment, or for a free wig that we have offered the City of Inglewood residents. I'd like to say thank you, thank you, thank you, and we look forward to continuous more relationship with the City of Inglewood for the Relay for Life 2018.
Why don't we come over here and take a photo real quick? We'll resume public comment. Mr. Davis?
Council, staff, Ray Davis again, 2nd District. Just want to body up to date with observations in my neck of the woods. Well, what I know about real estate is this. It's one thing to have a vacant lot that's been lying fallow for 30 years, suddenly have a multi-unit go up on it. Something else where a commercial property that's been sitting at least 20 years getting knocked down and something else is going up there. My councilman is going to have to tell me what that is. The old roofing company Yeah, this is getting to the point where somebody's gonna have to pinch me. Things are just moving at a hectic pace. I just hope it, we all pray that it just leads us to some place. Okay? So I'm praying for everybody. Have a great day. I gotta go to work.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Good afternoon to the residents of Inglewood, board, everyone in this room. I want to first go with the Uplift Inglewood Coalition, working to ensure the vision of our city's future includes and uplifts all past, present residents of Inglewood. I want to address very pointedly the bullying behavior of the mayor on social media. He has repeatedly attacked residents online who express views counter to his policies with oppressive and condescending language, which he then edits after reposting. Instead of listening to our concerns as his constituents, he actively posts to discredit the realities that his community is facing with skyrocketing rents and displacement. Beyond social media, he has used intimidating tactics against members of our coalition. I am here today to tell you that we will not stand for it.
Your time is up.
Mayor Butts, you are here to represent us.
Your time is up, sir.
Not bully us into accepting your policies. We already have a bully as a president.
Your time
we
is
do
up.
not need a bully as a mayor.
Your time is up. Thank you.
Good afternoon, City Council and Mayor. I'm here before you all. My name is Chris Shonday. I'm the Uplift Inglewood Youth Organizer. And I just really want to say, finally, thank you all for your last week's publish of the Affordable Housing Programs Report. We really appreciate it. You all outlined the city's records on affordable housing efforts, and we're glad that the issue is finally on your radar. We've been here for the past year. We gave you all a list of our demands when we first came, and that was a part of our demands. But in regards to your data, your report that 12% of rental housing in Inglewood is affordable, but when you take into account the entire population of Inglewood, the number of residents living in affordable rental housing amounts only to 7% of the city population. We believe that far more than 7% of Inglewood households should have access to affordable housing, especially given the extreme circumstances of the current housing market. Your future plans for affordable housing programs, when you do the numbers, actually only amounts to 48 housing units. For a population of 110 residents, this too is not enough to combat in its circumstances.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
My name is Teresa. I've been a resident of Inglewood for 30 years. The reason I'm here is because the situation with the parking, especially in our neighborhood, has been really increased really badly. We're to the point where one household takes up like half a block with 8 or 10 cars. So what my concern is that it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse. And when we called and complained, they said, come in and talk to us in the council meeting. This is our first time we're here. We love living in the city, and my daughters grew up here, and we really enjoy it. And I think that something needs to happen with the parking situation. 919 South Oak Street. And that where they park even on street cleaning days. As soon as the street cleaner goes by, they take up the parking space. Whereas, my daughters and I have to find parking a block away and my daughter works at night. So it's pretty, stressful for us to have that.
Or you can give your information to the Sergeant at Arms, and my office will make contact with you, let you know kind of what we're doing in that surrounding area.
We're glad to stay and talk to you.
Councilman Morales has been working on that for quite some time with our parking manager.
We'll be glad to talk to you.
Council Tracy Sato-Atari from Asian American Drug Abuse Program. I'm excited to be here right now to make an announcement that my agency, Asian American Drug Abuse Program, has teamed up with the police Inglewood Department to hold its first ever prescription drug take-back event happening on Saturday, October 28th, right in front of City Hall from 10 to 2. This is an opportunity for residents to dispose of unused prescription medications so as to keep them out of the hands of youth, keep our environment safe, and I have a bunch of flyers here that I could leave here, pass out to residents, and just wanted to let you know that it's going to be happening right in front of City Hall on the 28th from 10 to 2.
Tracy, are you going to be around before we end?
Okay.
Please, thank you.
Sir, come forward.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. Just wanted to speak briefly regarding the issue. As we all know, there's a housing issue. And in terms of rent control, it's important to keep in mind that rent control has never built a housing project. And what we have is a simple supply and demand problem like anything else. And what we need to do is look at incentives to bring developers in. And we're working on things like density bonus, reduced parking. The governor just signed a bill that the realtor has sponsored called Bill by Right, which indicates if a developer meets all the other criteria for moving forward with a project, it can't be tied up with CEQA and NIMBYism is what holds back projects. So what we need to do is look at incentives to develop housing, because that rent control only protects a person that has a place. It does nothing for a person looking for a place. So the idea is to add additional housing stock, and like anything, when you increase the supply, you bring down the price. So that's what we're looking at, supporting development in the city. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Alonzo Parker, Jr., Vietnam. I've been screaming for the longest since I came into this place years. Everything I've said is coming to fruition. I spoke about the federal government, what the VA is doing, but it's not just the VA, it's doing it to all of you. You just don't know it. Food you're plumping up of your chickens with all these chemicals and whatever. Going to pick up your kids from school and they're bigger than you are. The government been playing with you a long time. It starts in the military, and when they downsize.
Mr. Parker, could you address the council, please?
Downsize, they send you home all sick. Collaborators, co-conspirators, sleepers. They spoke to it before I was born. My father was in War II.
Thank you.
Until they tell us to trickle down, watch each other. If you see anything, blink, tell them.
Thank you, Mr. Parker.
We want to trickle up. Listen to us coming up, not.
Thank you, Mr. Parker. Always. Mr. Parker, we're going to have to eject you if you keep it up. Thank you.
Council members, I'm going to strongly suggest that you take heed to what has happened today, and maybe some of you may or may not be aware of it, but Jose Fernandez's first appearance in court is today. So I would strongly recommend that you learn from his experience and not be the dictatorial bullies and the people who disregard the people they are supposed to serve, and start paying attention to what the task of being an elected representative is. It is not to tell us, but to do as we suggest and direct. And it's interesting that homelessness is now such an important topic, and yet some of your actions will in fact eliminate significant numbers of homes. How sad is that?
How is that, Ms. Sobrano?
Well, it's those little eminent domain things that you claim do not appear that do in fact appear. You can't build something on top of homes without those homes disappearing.
We're not going to do that. Thank you, Ms. Sobrano. It's always good to correct your misinformation.
My name is Willie A.G., and I stand here today in support of the elected officials in this city, representing 115,000 people in the beautiful city of Inglewood. I want you to know, 53 years I've dedicated myself to the city. I understand that everybody have a right to come up here and speak their opinion, and so do I. But we have 5 people elected, 5, 6, 7 people elected here in this city. They're the one responsible for running, operating this city. Not 2 or 3 people that get up here with some wild idea, don't know what they're talking about. They just want to be heard, watch themselves on TV. Thank you very much.
We have Senator Bradford, our state senator here, who has an important message for us. I let him soak up the ambiance of an Inglewood council meeting first because I want him to see how a meeting was really run.
I was being late.
No, this is a flashback.
Being late is
First, honorable mayor and council, it's truly an honor to be here. It's what I do at the end of the legislative year. I won't assume that all of you know that the legislative year ended on September 15th. But the last day for the governor to sign or veto a bill was Sunday at midnight, 30 days after the last day of legislative session. So I'm here just to provide a brief legislative update. Many have stated, not only through California, but across the nation, that we've probably had the most successful legislative year in the history of California with the passage of SB 1, a gas tax that was hard to get to, a gas tax that will go into effect starting November, what's going to charge all of us an additional 12 cents per gallon going forward. And it's not a single individual. Let me be very clear. It's not a single individual who has ever run for office with the intentions on raising taxes. But that's what we did. That's what we did, and I'm here to own it. But what got me to yes was the commitment that the governor made, and the mayor was there as well, to supplier diversity, to women-owned businesses, to minority-owned businesses, to disabled veteran-owned businesses. SB 1 will provide $5 billion a year of road construction. A lot of those highways and thoroughways go through the city of Inglewood. It will be millions of dollars afforded and available for road improvement projects. But it wasn't enough to vote for it, even though this infrastructure is badly needed to be improved. I was sick and tired of driving down a Caltrans project and I don't see anybody look like me. I'm sick and tired of driving down a Caltrans project and I see no women out there. To be a backhoe operator, operating engineers, they start at $28 an hour. So I was going to make sure that people that look like me, people that represent this community and all of the 35th Senate District had an opportunity for that. The governor has made that commitment. It's supplier diversity language in the bill now. We're in the process of hiring an inspector general that will have the sole responsibility of making sure that people of color, again, women and disabled veterans, get a piece of this pie. So that's why I voted yes for SB 1, not simply because our roads are in dire need of repair. We have neglected them for over 25 years, so well overdue. Another issue we were just talking about is housing. We just passed the most aggressive housing bill probably in the nation. But the reason we're in a shortage of housing right now is because of a vote we took in 2011 to eliminate a redevelopment agency that this city and many other cities across the state of California had. We took that vote because the governor said we need to end redevelopment. And of the 120 members that were in the legislature, only 2 had the courage to say no. You know who one of those was? Rod Wright, the last holder of this office. Senator Rod Wright was the he and Senator Bob Huff from Diamond Bar were the only 2 members out of 120 that had the courage to say no. And today we stand here, Rod Wright and Senator Huff were right, because the billions of dollars that were promised never came to fruition in the state of California. And that's why we have a housing crisis today, because cities are not allowed to write down dirt and build homes at below market rate to provide those affordable housing. It was just a study that came out in August. And if you live in the city of San Francisco and you make $125,000 a year, you qualify for low income. Something's wrong with that picture. But that's how expensive housing is in San Francisco. So as Malcolm Bennett stated, it's about supply and demand. Rent control only helps the person who's in that unit at that time. It's people in Santa Monica who have lived in apartments for 30 years. But if they left today, it would go to market rate. So you need to understand that rent control only helps the person that's in there. You need to build more affordable, below market rate housing. So we passed another housing bill, AB 1505, by Assemblyman Bloom, right up the road. But part of that, I'm the co-author of that. Part of the language in that bill states inclusionary housing. So it says if a developer's gonna build units at market rate, say 100, he or she has to make the commitment of building a certain number, no quota, that are below market rate. That's inclusionary housing. It was the Palmer decision. That's my language in 1505. So we are looking out after people and making sure they're not living on the street. As I told some folks a couple of days ago, I got an environmental record second to none. I have a 92% voting record on environmental issues, but I'm more concerned with the people living under the tree than saving the tree. And we have a homeless crisis at an all-time high, not only in LA County, but across this state. So this affordable housing package is not the panacea, it's not the silver bullet, but it's a start. And know who's gonna own that in June? You, the voters of California, because you're gonna either vote it up or you're gonna vote it down. So you can show your commitment to affordable housing by supporting that initiative in June. Third thing we passed was a park bond, one of the most aggressive park bonds, again, in the state, probably in the nation. Again, it will provide hundreds of thousands of dollars annually to cities, but millions of dollars in one-time competitive grants. Again, in order for that to move forward, it's going to take a vote of the people in June. So those are some of the things, but I'm going to close on something that was got a whole lot of attention in the last 2 weeks of the legislative session, and I want to thank the mayor and members of the council and staff who came up to Sacramento. We did a last-minute attempt to build or pass a piece of legislation that would help the city of Inglewood build a new basketball arena. And a lot of folks booed and hooed and said what it was, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars opposing this. All this bill did is the same thing that we did in the city of LA when I was a co-author on the Farmers Field bill, when we were gonna initially build the football stadium at LA Live. It's the same thing that we did on the Roski Stadium, the Majeski, when we're gonna build it in the city of Industry. It's the same thing we did and voted for in the city of Sacramento, where now the Kings are playing. It's the same thing we voted on and for San Francisco, where the 49ers are now playing. All this bill did was give a CEQA truncated process, where it wasn't dragged out 3 to 5 years, where a developer walks away and said, I'm not waiting 3 to 5 years to see if I get my project approved. All it said, we would truncate that process and reduce it down to 18 months. Someone talked about eminent domain. I'll go back to redevelopment. Eminent domain in the state of California doesn't exist the way it did under redevelopment. A city can no longer take private property for private use. So eminent domain, as we once know it, no longer does. So no one can take anyone's home for a private entity. And in the project site—
And Senator Bradford, everybody that says that, they know that. But I digress. Go ahead.
And just back to the project site, there's not a single home on the project site. And again, I will stake my reputation. For those who don't know me, I spent 12 years on the city of Gardena, city council. I spent just short of 6 years as your assemblyman here in this, representing the city of Inglewood. And now I'm honored in my first year as your senator. But the people are why I do this job. So this run all those negative commercials that ran the last 2 weeks, these senators for campaign, so-called Democrat Steve Bradford. Ask them why they spent $100,000 attacking me when we had 3 other CEQA bills running through the Capitol at that exact same time. Why? Because the CEQA bill benefited a community of color, a black and brown city. We have 2 other CEQA bills that Facebook's going to take advantage of. No one's spending any money attacking them, that Capitol Records are going to take advantage of. CEQA exemptions are the way we do business right now, folks, if you want a major project done in a short period of time. It doesn't forsake the environment. It doesn't forsake the people that are in that area, but it helps bring the deal together, and that's what we're trying to do. So I'm going to close on this. Mr. Mayor, we're still committed to SB 789. I'm ready to reintroduce it in January, and if it's the city's desire and the principles of the arena, we will move forward. I think we will have a favorable outcome. I'm not guaranteeing a signature, but I think we'll have a full legislative year to have a full, honest, robust debate on what it is and ask the questions of why these other communities and why not Inglewood. So thank you for this opportunity.
Now, Senator Bradford, on behalf of the council, I want to tell you, first of all, we appreciate the extraordinary effort you went to get us just what other communities have received numerous times for the construction of arenas. We also stand with you. You should never have taken the abuse from the false and misleading campaign materials that were used, because that's what it was. They mounted a campaign to make sure that this community of color not got to avoid secret requirements, but just to have a truncated process that was given to Levi Stadium, to Oracle Arena, to Golden One Stadium Arena in Sacramento, to Farmers Field. All you did was say that we should be treated equally. And I want to thank you for that. And of course, we support the reintroduction, and we will be there every step of the way.
Thank you very much, and thank you for this opportunity.
With that, we'll close public comment. Madam Clerk, did you have any announcements? Madam City Treasurer, did you have any announcements?
Yes, I do, Mayor. Thank you. Just like to announce that the City Treasurer Student Intern Program will begin on November the 2nd through November the 30th, and we will have 5 meetings during that time. And I will be giving an overview of the city government. We're going to visit at least 2 departments. We'll also have a certain part of the program will be financial literacy. We'll want to explain what the Rule of 72 is, the importance of good credit, and explain the importance of certain investment vehicles like mutual funds, CDs, bonds, et cetera. Be a lot of financial part to the program. And also we will have a number of speakers. We'll have one from Wells Fargo, and the mayor normally speak. I usually try to, the council has been very supportive, so I'll be looking for their support again.
Actually, we have no choice.
You didn't have to say that. And also, we always serve a hot lunch. The hot lunch will be from 3:30 until 4 p.m., and it's all the things that kids like. So we'll have a number of outside speakers that will be speaking. And again, the program will begin on November the 2nd. Flyers will be going out in about a week. And they'll be at the library and also on the counter here at the City Hall, and also distributed throughout the city. And the age that I accept children for the program are from the 7th grade to the 12th. That's from the 7th grade to the 12th. And again, it's a 5-week program, beginning at 3:30 and ending at 6 o'clock. If you have any questions, you can call my office at 310-412-5642. Again, it's 310-412-5642. Thank you.
Thank you. Council comments. Any council comments? Councilman Dotson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to remind everyone that's sitting here, make sure that you were paying attention and take the information that you got to your neighbors and your friends. Bill 789 is important to us as a community. It's important to us as a city. This will do something for us that nothing else will. So if you don't take anything else from this meeting, please remember what you heard. It didn't come from us. It came from your state senator. With that, I thank you all for coming out. Hope you continue to come. Have a great week.
Thank you. Councilman Padilla?
Thanks, Mayor. Just a couple of quick comments. First off, the city treasurer's program that you talked about is truly an outstanding opportunity for any young man or woman, a young adult that's looking to educate themselves on this process that we're involved in. She does an excellent job of educating 7th through 12th graders. So if you have anybody, I would jump on it quick because those spaces are going to fill up overnight. Also, I want to thank Judge Nicole Bershon, who today we put together a program. They call it a power lunch program, which is over at the Inglewood Courthouse. And there were students today from Inglewood High School that were there that listened to presentations from attorneys, from judges, from law enforcement, from the fire department.
I did a presentation to talk about the council. It's a very good program, and I got to tell you, based on the questions and engagement from our students, you know what, our future is bright. We have some very intelligent young men and women attending school, specifically here in the city of Inglewood. I also want to thank the mayor for joining me at a block club on Sunday afternoon in the 500 block of East Ellis Avenue. It was a great opportunity to meet with the residents and talk about the positive things that are happening in the city of Inglewood. And I got to tell you, they were very, very supportive of the direction that the city's going to or headed in. And I also want to thank the block captain in the 500 and 600 block of West Ellis, Patricia Sanchez, who put together a meeting last night that I attended. Again, talked about different issues impacting the community there, but then we talked about the bigger issues that are happening here in Inglewood. Again, very well received, and some very good discussions that took place. Inglewood is headed in the right direction. We are doing our due diligence to keep Inglewood at the forefront. And I want to thank, if you look around, we had a standing room only crowd, and yet it was funny, a while back, folks would tell us that, you know, you can't do meetings at 2 o'clock, nobody's going to show up. Well, they're wrong again, because look at the standing room crowd that we had today. So I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to be here, and I really appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you. Councilman Franklin, District 4.
Yes, let me just piggyback on Councilman Padilla's comments, because Councilman Padilla, Mayor Butts, and myself, we were together right here in the council chambers just the other day, where we had a group of high school students from City Honors that also embraced us regarding the political climate of the city, what's going on in the city, how we were able to get it to turn it around collectively as a team effort, and that they also raised the issue regarding housing, the issues of maintaining employment, prevailing wage jobs, et cetera. So it was good spirited discussion and comments, and they're our future, so it was outstanding. Mayor, I would ask that you close the meeting today in honor of Anthony Dotson. Anthony Dotson was a longtime member in District 4, community activist, very faithful out in the community, constantly working on improving the quality of life, including working on the street on which he lived on to get it repaved. And then also, he passed away just last week, and we just want to hold him and his family in prayer. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilman Morales, District 3.
First, you know, we kind of have been hitting the same theme every week for the last couple of months, and that's regarding our rental housing and how the price is going up. As you know, we still are below the average here in the South Bay. That's why, you know, so many folks are here looking for housing. But I really appreciate Mr. Malcolm Bennett, who showed up and kind of shared a different perspective, because it's valuable. It's valuable to know all sides, and it's important. Investment in the city is what we need right now the most, and we should do all that we can to continue to encourage it. Also, Senator Bradford, who came by and literally addressed the issue as a statewide issue. I mean, it's important that we start to see things for what they are. When there are issues that are unique to the city of Inglewood, then it's our responsibility to address them. And that's what we're doing here. That being said, you know, I know more and more of this discussion will come out, and, you know, I look forward to it. Mayor, I would like to close in memory of Commander William Bill C. Murphy, who passed away on October 10th, 2017. And he is a longtime District 3 resident. And while he has been a longtime District 3 resident and a good friend of mine, I know he's a good friend of all of the council members here. And Ralph actually put this together for him in terms of remembering what he was about. So that's a special person, played a big role with the Boy Scouts in putting together our Memorial Day celebration. He's the former commander of the American Legion, Inglewood Post 188. But aside from that, he was an Inglewood supporter, just constantly and consistently being supportive of our city, and kind of just holds true of what's right with the city. Every year, he went out of his way to kind of make that Memorial Day special for all of us, and you know, he will be dearly missed. We thank him for his service, and we'll always remember him. So, Mayor.
First, Madam Treasurer, I really want to applaud you for the class you put on for the kids every year, and I really wish that we could include some of the people that come to council meetings, because you teach people about the time value of money, teach them that you can't get something for nothing, and that you have to save and plan to make things happen. I'm so glad that Senator Bradford was here to just give his perspective, and I'm going to tie this into the young man that said that I'm a bully on social media. We have a number of people in this community that are actively trying to frighten people, delegitimize government, try and make you believe that good is bad, that somehow the return of the NBA to Inglewood, I want you to listen to me, on land that has sat there for 20 to 25 years. The last proposed use was for an ENA for a group that was going to build an Inglewood promenade, that wanted the council to use redevelopment money to buy 50 acres and give it to him for $1. He had no financing. That's the last, quote, great deal that we had there. And so then we come to where we are now. Nobody's had any interest in that land for 7 years. And then as soon as we pull another rabbit out of the hat, get our third professional sports team in 2 years, now all of a sudden that's the only place that we can build affordable housing. That's the only place, and it's housing before arenas. Now, it doesn't matter that that land was purchased with FAA money specifically to remove the housing in exchange for an aviation easement so that they could continue their flight path the way that it was. It doesn't matter that the FAA also paid relocation money of up to about $20,000 a family to relocate everyone that was in that flight path. And it doesn't matter to these folks that we signed a covenant that said we would not place a non-aircraft noise compatible use there, nor does it matter to them that we also agreed to rezone the property and not rezone it for residential use again, because that's non-aircraft noise compatible. It doesn't matter to them that to obtain control of that property, we would have to repay the FAA, not with the price that they paid for the land 20, 25 years ago. We'd have to pay for it at fair market value. And you know where that money would come from? And this is where Madam City Treasurer's lesson comes from. You know where it comes from? The general fund. The general fund. And then you know what we'd have to do to make it work for affordable housing for somebody? We'd have to, what's called, write the land down. We'd have to reduce the price that we paid for it to a price where the developer could build it, give us covenants for 55 years on some affordable housing units, and then they still make money. And you know how they'd make money? For us to lose tens of millions of dollars. That's how they would make money. And this is where your class is so valuable, because you don't get something for nothing. So we could choose to do that. Or we could let a developer buy it, in this case, an NBA team, where every dime they spend on it would come back to the city's residential sound insulation program, tens of millions of dollars for us to insulate more homes in Inglewood. Or we could just lose money. And so this is where I guess I'm a bully on social media, because I have the audacity to write the truth, because I have the audacity to tell people exactly what is going on. That's considered intimidating. You know why? Because that's supposed to be the province of people that spread misinformation only. Authority figures are not supposed to give you truth. Apparently that's bullying. So if that's bullying, guilty. I don't write anything different than what I say in here. We have people here to talk about transparency all the time. There's nobody more transparent than we are in here. Nobody. But if we give you too much truth, and facts are stubborn things, but if we give you too much truth, now I guess I should stay off social media. Okay. Okay. So I want to close the meeting in memory of Anthony Dotson, longtime District 4 resident, community activist, and stakeholder. In the name of Commander William Bill C. Murphy, passed on October 10th, 2017. Former commander of American Legion, Inglewood Post, number 188. Neighbor of Eloy Morales. And just a
Great guy.
just a great guy and an icon, and we have to name something after him. Just a good man. And with that, we're adjourned.